Good evening, everyone. Hello. Got about 130 people in here, traveled all this way to hear me speak. This is awesome. Best part about being the best man at this wedding is, up until yesterday, I didn't know any of really the other bridal party. I met the groomsmen unofficially, didn't know any of the bridesmaids, so if this bombs, who cares? For those of you who don't know me, allow me to introduce myself. I am Matt Lorenzen. I am the best man at this wedding. And, first off, thank you, Taylor, for going first and thanking everybody. I didn't have any of that in my speech, so photographers, everything else, good job. That was a huge weight lift. Katie, you look amazing, obviously. Jonathan. But I have known Jonathan for 25 years, I think, of my 30, so it's 31 years. Knowing somebody that long, being their, what I would say best friend, hopefully he would say the same thing. He hasn't changed. He's gone through several phases of his life. He's, we've been in our elementary, chubby phase. I didn't, eventually get out of that, but we went to high school. We were band nerds together. It was sweet. He went to college away in Finley. That's where he met some of his new, college phase, college friends. But I knew he'd come back to me. And then his professional, phase of life when he moved to Kentucky, and he's been here ever since. I guess he's happy. But there's always a spot back in Oregon, Ohio, hometown. If he wants to ever come back. Obviously. You got family here now, so. So the length of our friendship, honestly, I don't know if there's an official anniversary dance, but I would stack up pretty well, I think, with everybody in this room. Let me just double check the notes here, I don't want to miss anything. Okay, this is the bread and butter of the story. So, everybody that's known Jonathan throughout his various phases of life knows he is the king of deals. He's the coupon wizard. He loves free stuff. Who doesn't? But the thing with Jonathan is he kind of almost like manufactures these. He finds deals that, backs of receipts, half off appetizers. People don't even, look at this stuff, they throw it away. He's really the MacGyver of coming up with free, items, free things. And one thing that really stood out to me, growing up as a friend of somebody that is like that, I benefited because, we worked together several years, and, we would always have, we were going to go to lunch. Hey, I got, buy one, get one free Subway sandwiches. Unfortunately, I would always be the one buying it, and then he would get the free one. And, that's what friends do. I enjoyed having, several of those, free lunches on occasion, but it amazed me. He convinced me one summer. We worked at the Oregon Parks and Recreation, mowing grass, doing all this other stuff, and he convinced me to. We volunteered to do the trash every single day because that summer, Pepsi actually had codes underneath all their caps. You remember this, right? And so a normal person buys 1 or 2 pops in maybe a week, and they enter these codes, and maybe over the course of the whole season, you might get a hat. No, we did trash every single day. We dug through trash, and we collected hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these caps. You could only enter in 20 a day, so it was a process. And the prizes weren't even that good, honestly. I don't know. I'm not sure why I did this, but we would enter in 20 a day. My wife, girlfriend at the time, God bless her, she stayed with me. She had 3 pairs of Pepsi pajamas for Christmas. And 3 years in a row. We still have one in our house now. Yeah, I had a Pepsi belt buckle. It was outrageous. And looking back, I'm like, what was I doing? But he convinced me. He's like, this is great. You get this, you get all these free things. So, that always stuck out to me. I was like, well, if Jonathan says it's a good deal, it's a good deal. And this was high school, so, you think, okay, people grow out of this phase. No, he has not grown out of this phase. Literally just today, actually, he claimed that his sink was backed up. Had the maintenance staff come up. Sink was fine, I washed my hands. They tried to fix it, for his trouble. they gave him two $10 coupons to the freaking Blue Martini bar in the lobby. And they're only good for today. So, hey, sorry, after this reception, he will be attending the Blue Martini bar. So these 2 free drinks, because a coupon that never goes to waste when it's in his hands. So let me, elaborate a little bit on the first time that I met Katie. So, Jonathan tells me, hey, I'm coming into town, bringing my girlfriend, and I said, oh, girlfriend, holy cow. And I don't want to make a good impression. When you have, a friend, a buddy, it's, when you meet their significant other, I'm sure it works the same, vice versa genders, but you don't want to be the asshole friend. They're coming back, especially coming from out of town. I wanted to make a good impression. I wanted to make sure that, if my guy likes her, I need to make sure that she's, welcomed and doesn't think I'm a weirdo. And so we went axe throwing, and he came back into town. So we're at this axe throwing warehouse, if you will, and when you're meeting someone new, small talk, hey, how you doing? How'd you guys meet? And this is the moment I knew I was like, okay, I'm gonna like this girl, because instantly she starts in with oh, how'd we meet? Well, here, funny story. We actually, and when she said this, I thought, oh my God, please tell me he didn't pull out a half-off appetizer for buying. And it was much worse than I could have ever imagined. He actually, he made her pay for her own food, which is outrageous. And it's unbelievable. I still, to this day, I can't. If I was a fly on the wall that day when the waiter comes over, at least that's how I imagine it, is the waiter comes over and that dreaded phrase, are we together or separate? And I imagine very grandiose, because it's such a boss move. John's got like 2 checks. I'm by myself. She has to wash dishes. Me, and then I almost guarantee he pulled out, this is my American Express, I get double miles. This is only for me. My job. So then I actually find out, more recently that would have been better than what actually happened. Is the waiter came over, hey, are we together, separate, and then just crickets. He just sat there in silence, and of course Katie was gonna be like, well, all right, I guess I'll pay for my own, because the awkwardness alone of having that moment, I can't imagine that. So moral of the story, I guess, is he claims that this was not a date, and that was the reason that he didn't pay, which again is just blasphemy. I don't understand how you can be at dinner with someone that's set up by 2 other people. I mean, the definition of that, I think, is actually blind date or double date. It's in the title. You were on a date. But, he claims, no, this was a meet and greet. I said, oh, meet and greet? This isn't a work conference. You didn't exchange business cards. You're not in a meet and greet. So, I guess Jonathan only goes on blind meet and greets. His dates have to be with full vision. And luckily, Katie gave him a second chance. I think there was a little bit of man of mystery, I can't believe this guy made me pay for my own food. I gotta see where this goes. And luckily she did, because 3 years later, here we are, and we almost, this wouldn't have all happened if she didn't decide to give him that second chance. So I know I'm grateful for him, because I think if she had to go back and do it over again, she'd just pay for her food and run. But so real quick, I had one other story, but I think Are there any people that work for the IRS here? I got a tax evasion story, but I think we'll just maybe slide that one for after more cocktails. So, they say everything's bigger in Texas except the amount of sales tax that they pay, and Jonathan knows that all too well. So, on one last serious note, I don't know how my timer is. I had it set, but I think I'm going over. I do want to say, Jonathan he's been like a brother to me for, like I said, 25 years, and now, Katie, you are like a sister. You're part of the family. I'm so happy for the both of you, where this next journey takes you. One thing I do know is this next phase of your life, if Jonathan's leading the way, you will get there minimum 15 to 20% cheaper than anybody else.